dude, you're in a wheelchair and you spent your life promoting Jesus Christ.
Why are we praising this guy? Like, what's there to praise him for? Look at me.
This is weighing on you.
And I remember people would come up to me and they would say, you have such a gift. How can human suffering be a gift? Our God is a suffering God. He's one of one. He wasn't throwing me a pity party. He genuinely hurt with me whenever I hurt. 2 mornings ago, I just woke up, I prayed, I said, thank you for this body.
Amen.
I'm just playing, I don't fight, I do pray. I only go the way of Mr. Yahweh. Try to correct me, but I'm stuck in my own ways.
Why wouldn't you take advantage of that?
I don't believe I have hatred, I just put there as hatred.
Look at you, you little diva. You getting into some drama. You already got a PR problem, dude. The first thing he sits down, he goes, yo, listen, I'm having problems, dude. I love this problem, by the way, because listen, if you have a problem, that means you're doing something. That's good, bro. People that don't have no problems, they're not doing anything. They're sitting around. So I want you to re-explain your problem to me. And let's go through this, because this is not something that you're just going through, but every single person that wants to chase their dreams, they're always worried about that one critic, that one person that's just trying to tear you down. So please explain your predicament right now.
Yeah, so, I mean, I think this is a weird space. Like, what we do is really weird, if you think about it. Yeah. We don't have real jobs. Nobody, like, I don't have a real job. And I can admit that. Like, it's weird what we do. We talk for a living. That's what we do.
Yeah.
And we talk about the gospel, but that's great.
Yeah.
But I think it's a weird space full of a lot of weird people doing a lot of weird things, waiting for you to say things to make those things weird in and of themselves. So I was out at Huntington Beach. Me and my team were just recording, evangelizing to people. And we see these other evangelists there. And they come up to me and everything's great. Like, they're super nice. And then one of the guys comes up and he's introducing himself. He's already made videos about me. Like, he showed me all those phone videos of me that he made. And I was like, dude, that's so cool. And he pulls out like a little GoPro thingy and he starts recording. And he didn't really ask. And as he's recording, he's asking, like, what are you doing out here? Like, what's going on? And my cameraman, Steve, is picking this up from his audio, from my mic, so he's able to hear me. So he points my manager out over to kind of get the show on the road.
Nice.
Because they were going to hit me up. And so as I'm talking and explaining, like, we're out here doing mission work, podcast, content, all that good stuff. And manager comes, breaks it up, and just like introduces himself. So I gotta be like, all right, we kind of gotta go. And the guy says, who are you? To my manager. He goes, I'm Jamey's manager. And he's like, oh, like Bryce Crawford stuff. And it was like a shot, you know? It was in a way, it was like, oh, you're big time now. So if you don't have a team in this space, like helping you push the mission forward, helping you spread the gospel as efficiently as possible, you're inherently doing something wrong at that point. In a lot of people's eyes, I think.
This is weighing on you.
Yeah, it is.
Why? What's touching your heart that's making you feel hurt by this?
Well, it makes me hurt, and I'm still figuring out why, because I was talking about it last night. I felt deeply disturbed about it.
I could tell. You came in here, it looked like something's on your heart a little bit.
Yeah, like it disturbed my stomach. Like, I don't know, it felt off. And I guess it's because this is a space that isn't very forgiving. Like,
ironic, yeah?
Yeah, it's
very ironic.
Super ironic.
Yeah.
Like, we're not going to be forgiven easily for the mistakes that we make.
You're held more accountable.
Absolutely.
You should be more scared that you're held more accountable to God first.
Yeah.
Right? You and Bryce particularly have a ministry. I have a podcast with my wife. I tell jokes on stage. Like when you came to my show and I brought you on, when I'm doing this, I came from the world of entertaining, and I love to talk about Jesus. So I don't really catch the same fades that you guys have. But if I was in your shoes, the first thing I would remind myself is that they crucified a perfect man.
Right.
If they crucified a perfect man, even if you tried your best, you're going to have people misunderstand you, which is the worst type of pain. And I want you to remember Jesus and the first martyr both says, forgive them for they don't know. So when I sit across somebody who really disturbs my heart, paints me out to dry, they assassinate your character. And that's why it hurts you. Because every day you wake up to use your character to point people to Jesus. So when somebody points their finger at you and says, you're a wolf, you're not real, they're now disturbing what you're doing with the Lord. Now, take a pause there. Every time that's ever happened to me, it's either two things came out of it. One, I actually was wrong. And that hurts my heart more because I was like, wow, I didn't think of it that way. And then I correct myself. So that's good. The other one, and this one hurts the most, it's, no, I'm not wrong. They're just taking something out of context, or they're pushing a narrative that doesn't exist. This is what you need to do. And this is the only thing you need to do. And if you don't do this, you will feel that anxious feeling you're feeling. Ironically, this is the message that I was talking about on stage when I had you. And it's called being the man on water.
Right.
Peter only went under the water and felt what anxiety and depression feels like. Can't breathe, trying to escape, maybe grab onto something just for a second for a breath, but then you go under. What you're doing is you're focusing sometime on Jesus. You're looking at the light, and then for a split second in the car when no one's looking, or maybe when you're on your phone, you'll turn back to that guy and what he said, and you'll just sit there and you'll listen and you'll listen and you'll listen. And what happens is it becomes your God accidentally. Some people fall in love with their gods, with their phones, with business partners, with money, and some people like pain. They like, oh, I gotta fix this. It's not your job. In fact, he says that you are gonna go through this. And as soon as you understand it and just say, hey, Lord, don't make it easier for me. I want to feel this because this is where I learn. I want to deal with the same amount of pain, but as if it's not a problem for me. That's how you show who you really are. So that way when people see you and they see what you're dealing with, they're like, well, how come he's not getting upset? How come he's not doing this? How come he's not fighting back? How come he's not retaliating to the video? It's because you've crucified yourself. Whatever they think of you, it doesn't matter. Because you're not the guy that you're pointing them to. You're pointing them to another guy. If somebody thinks you're false, best defense I would say is, yeah, probably. I make mistakes. I could be a hypocrite. I could be a liar. But that's the reason I'm not the one saving you. I'm pointing you to the guy that's saved. Now, let's time travel back to this guy. Dude, you're in a wheelchair and you spent your life promoting Jesus Christ, the man who could have made you not be in the wheelchair, but yet you sacrificed your life, even after knowing that, to preach the gospel. And this guy's pulling out a GoPro and hating on you? That guy's nuts. Yeah. That guy's nuts, bro. And this is just a tiny little roadblock that God's teaching you because, bro, he's dragging you all the way up to the mountain. And what does he say about the light on the top of the hill? It cannot be hidden. It cannot be hidden. I want to tell you something, and I'm glad we got into this. I was speaking with Donnie Wahlberg.
Love that guy.
You love that guy, right? You love his movies. You love his shows.
Yeah.
You love his music.
Yeah, he's been a huge supporter of mine.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All he did yesterday was talk about you.
He's incredible.
In fact, he was so moved that him and I are talking, and he's shooting, and he stepped away from shooting just to record you a video because of how much you impacted his life.
That's it.
God's going to give you things to focus on. And dude, he's given you so much good things to focus on. The devil, if he can't destroy you, he's going to distract you. And distraction comes when you're quiet and alone. That's why he says, hold every thought captive. So when you think about that loser on the street with a GoPro, sit back and just go, all right, God, help me love this man. That is the only way. Turning your other cheek is easy until the whole world is like lining up to smack you in the cheek and you're like, all right. But you told me backstage, I want to use everything that God gave me to go and preach the mission. I'm gonna let you know right now, bro. Demons, people that hate God, do not care that you're in a wheelchair. They do not care that you have a problem. They will tear you up because you are doing the one thing that God said is gonna happen with people like us. Is that one line? He says, they hated me before they hated you. There's a reason why he hated you, and I'll tell you what the reason is. He doesn't understand how you're so happy. And people that are in a dark place and they see a light person, they hate it. They just can't describe it in their mind. So what do? They try to put you in a box that could soothe their heart. George Janko, Bryce Crawford, Clifton Stewart. Bro, I'm not lying. When I got hit with like, yo, he's all fake, he's like Clifton Stewart and Bryce, dog, I thought I was put up with the Hall of Fames. I was so excited. I was so pumped when I got, dude, like, I don't know about you, but if somebody ever came up to me and be like, oh, you're like Bryce Crawford, I'm like, oh, are you serious? You think that? Thank you, bro. Are you kidding me? Because, bro, when all knees are bowing and we're all pointing at Jesus, that dude ain't gonna be like, oh, you're the manager?
Right.
He's gonna be like, oh, man, I really messed up, dude. This guy's God's real. Now, mind you, I'm not trying to pick a fight with that kid, right? Because, dude, if he's gonna, I mean, I want to, actually, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know why I'm lying. Actually, if I was there, I'm so glad I wasn't there, because I would have to ask you to get up so he could sit in that wheelchair after I was done with him. It was a little dark. Your mom laughed, so we're good. All right, bro, let's talk, dude. We got into drama right away. I like that, dude. That's great. By the way,
I'm sorry. I mean, I'm
don't
fresh.
be sorry.
Don't be
I'm
sorry.
fresh out of high school, so drama.
Dude.
Hey, it's
dude.
spicy. Keep things interesting. You know what I
Right.
mean?
I talk to my wife every day. I cry at the pillow. I'm like, how could they say that about me?
Crash.
And
You
she's
seem
like,
like a sensitive young man.
I'm very sensitive. A little bit too much, actually. It's bad.
It's that Assyrian in there.
Yeah. All the Syrians are like, oh. Well, dude, I'm proud of you, bro. Can I talk to you about why I even had you on my, because we like hung out for a little bit and then we had to run around. Like
Yeah.
you were gone. It's super deep. He was like, his agents were there, his managers there. It's like, he's done, buddy. You got his time. He's out. And then he peeled off. Dude, he left skid marks on the ground. I was like,
Well,
dude.
actually, it's really funny. So, at the time, I was at a point where I was super scared. I'm still very scared about what I do and all of this. But I was super scared. I felt like a pack of meat in front of wolves, bro. Because part of it was I knew that I had a great message, and I knew that people were going to want to latch on to it. And I've felt that from other people,
Amen.
and it really scared me. And so when I went to your show and got backstage and stuff, like pictures were being taken and all that. So later that night, I hit up Eli. Eli was the photographer that was there. So we got to talking, and I was like, hey, can I get those pics? He was like, yeah, of course. Super nice, send them over. And I really liked the pictures, so I was thinking about doing a photo shoot anyways. So I'll just ask him to do it. It'll probably be a good connection anyways. So
You
did the
are like
photo
Bryce.
shoot.
You poached my manager. You poached my photographer. You know, Bryce looked at me. He goes, "Yeah, I just take people from other camps." I was like, "Bro, you go to churches. You steal people
Well-
from churches, dude. That's crazy."
That's networking.
Tell 'em.
So, yeah, I linked up with Eli to do a photo shoot, and then we get to talking. He's like, "Bro, there's no reason you shouldn't be at like where Bryce is at right now."
Amen.
And I was like, yeah, like I was very timid and very scared, because number one, I don't want to get taken advantage of.
Yeah.
I'm also, at the time I was 18, I'm 19 now. And like, I like to think I know what I'm doing, and I do to a certain degree. I don't really know what I'm doing. Like, I know how to drive a wheelchair, but I don't know how to run a ministry and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm still figuring that out. And he was able to really level with me, and we talked and really had a heart-to-heart spirit moment. And then a few days later, we were texting, and I was like, either I get someone that is kingdom-minded to help manage me and to, like, be on the same page with me as we go places to further this mission, or I can stay scared, never branch out, or get someone that will take advantage of me. So actually, though, like, if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here right now, like straight up. So I met my team
I wouldn't have done my
here.
tour if it wasn't for you. That's why you were one of my guests. I had only 2 people on my guest call. That's it.
You're
The
kidding.
whole tour. It was Cliff and Stewart, and they were the reason I didn't kill myself. They were literally the reason I cried myself to sleep and held on to breath every day. That's why when I see him, I cry. Like, he has no idea what he did for me. But you, Belle, how crazy was my setup of my tour?
Everything was falling apart. Everything was trying to tear it down.
Everything. Like, it was so weird, bro. It was so weird how everything was going down. And I just remember laying on the grass, and I was just really lost, confused, and down, and just going down this crazy spiral, and then literally just flip on Instagram, and I see your videos. And I sat there for like hours, just sitting there watching it, showing Belle, meditating on it, praying on it, and just seeing, I'm like, man, dude, like, and I don't mean to say this in a disrespectful way, but you walking around is sharpening us without even saying a word. A word. When you get up and you go and do everything you're doing with the obstacles that you have, even just walking through that door, how we had to talk about it, like just that, God says, get up. Look what this soldier's doing. Get up. Stop feeling bad for yourself. Look what he's got and look what he's doing. That's why I brought you on that stage. They all came to see me because I've motivated them, but I brought you because you motivated me. You motivated Donnie so much that he left set to shoot a video specifically for you, just to tell you how much you impacted his faith. How much, dude, I was talking about you with him before you were on my stage.
Wow.
Now, let's go back to you. The crucifixion effect. I want you to remember this the next time you go, should I walk this way? Would God be pleased me going this way? Because I don't know about this direction. None of that, bro. God doesn't separate from you. He goes with you. He goes before you, he goes after you. My mom used to tell me, before you walk into the room, the Holy Spirit's there to greet you. Okay, now that being said, let's go back to the crucifixion, right? The crucifixion is the worst thing that's ever happened in human history. But at the same time, the greatest thing that's ever happened in human history. So when you're scared to make a bad decision, read the gospel when he says, in your weakness, that's your weakness, my strength is perfect. Bro, you gotta remember, it's you falling and getting back up that makes us wanna get back up. So for you to try to avoid you falling is stupid. And that is only from the devil. Because what is a righteous man in the eyes of God? It's not a man who doesn't fall. In fact, it's the man who falls the most, because he gets back up. It says that a wretched, a wicked man falls, never gets back up. A righteous man falls multiple times and gets back up. I truly think, bro, it is for the glory of God that we fall. That's why he says you should rejoice during your struggles. Do you remember when the disciples were like, hey, yo, God, come here real quick. What's up with homie over here? Is it his sins or his dad's sins?
Oh, yeah.
Right? But what did he say right after? He goes, no, it's for the glory of God.
Right.
So you know, deep in your heart and in your mind, that what you're doing has impacted me. It's impacted all of them. Look at these guys. They're working right now as you're speaking. Davidge is impacted. Bryce is impacted. I was impacted. She's impacted. Donnie's impacted. We're telling you we're impacted. How many more people need to tell you? Does God need to come back down and be like, hey, Jamey, come here real quick?
Let me back. I'll take that. Like a little cherry on top, but yeah, I mean, I'll take that. I don't know. I don't think I'll ever get to that point where it'll be enough. I don't know if I'll ever reach a point where, okay, now I feel finally good about what I'm doing, where I'm at. I'll always be the scared little kid that's worried about messing up. Like, I'm just scared about messing up and doing it wrong. And there's nothing that scares me more than just messing up. And I know that you're going to say I haven't, and you're going to say I haven't, and you're both going to say I've done a great job, and I think that is true, but anything could happen. And I think in that regard, sometimes I lack faith in God and put more faith in myself, and it just doesn't work.
You're building your own Babel.
Yeah.
And by the way, you're babbling right now, and I'll tell you what you need to stop babbling about. Stop telling yourself what you are. The gospel says that your mouth starts everything because you're made in the image of God, and he starts it by saying things. And you're sitting in front of me, pissing me off right now because you're like, I'll always be a scared little boy. I'll always be ready. Like, shut up. I hope you mess up because that's what you need to do to grow. Dude, you're trying to walk like Jesus, being perfect. That's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to follow Jesus. He's the one that's not going to mess up. You're the one that is going to mess up. Why do you need to mess up? Because if you were perfect, then why did they nail him to a piece of wood? I think you know why this is what's happening right now. I'm going to be a little bit nicer because I understand. I'm trying to give you that tough ball like conversation.
Right.
But the truth is this. You're going through what every entertainer goes through. There's a lot of eyes on you. There's a lot of ears on you, and it gets overwhelming. It's easy to say, oh, I don't care what anybody in high school thinks. It's like, yeah, it's high school. Nobody cares. But when it's the whole world, when you're surfing the web while you're pooping and then you're seeing some comments and you're like, my God, bro, like these guys won't let off of me. I'll give you an example with me. Something happened recently with me with the Andrew Tate thing. Right. All I said was like, hey, man, I don't think anybody is guilty until they're proven guilty. I think this is how the world should be. Nobody should just point somebody and say they're evil. Then this whole side of the room was like, oh, my God, he's supporting a rapist. And I was like, whoa, no, that's not what I'm saying. So I go on and I go, hey, guys, just want to clarify, Jesus is my leader. Oh, you piece of shit. You're going to ditch Andrew Tate right when you need. I was like, okay, no, hold on. I'm not ditching him. I just say, bro, you know what I realized? I'm done apologizing. I can't be perfect, bro.
You'll never win.
You'll never win.
You'll never win.
So if I'm never going to win, if Bryce is never going to win, I mean, she wins. She married me.
That was like worse. You can never make everybody happy.
Never.
No matter what you do, you're either gonna piss off, like the people who don't believe in Christ are gonna be upset with you. The people who do believe in Christ are gonna be upset with you, right? And so all you can do is ask God to lead your feet and guide you, and which is exactly what you're doing, and you're doing a beautiful job at that.
Can I say something? It's gonna be humbling. It's a little
Sure.
tough to hear. The only reason you're suffering is because you're building out your own God as yourself. There's this image of you that you're saying, how dare you not see me as this? Because this is who I am. This is how I betray. But dude, they called Jesus a drunken fool, and Jesus cheered them. He's like, oh, see, like, he doesn't care. He's not going to sit there and try to persuade people why he's the Messiah. He tells them the truth. He is the truth, and he kept it moving. You need to have that same confidence. Now, how do you get it? Because I know how do you get it. To 12 years of working for it, I realized you couldn't work for it. You just have to ask for it. He talks about the birds and says, look how they're taken care of. How much more do I love you? To anybody who asks the Father for more of the Holy Spirit, how much more would I give? So right now you're placed here. And let me remind you something, right? Because we forget about our old struggles, right? Because we're selfish. We had old struggles. You remember you in high school and you were like, I want to do something for you, God. And then now he's giving you something. And you're like, whoa, why are they so mean to me?
Right.
This is how it works, bro. This is how it works. We ask God, but we forget to be thankful. Right. Cain and Abel were in the same position. One was grateful, one wasn't. That's the only two people in God's eyes. One who's grateful. It's just you and Jesus on this journey, man. Forget Eli. Eli could come and go. Even though he's a blessing right now, so is David. She's a blessing, but he could come and go. But the one who won't come and go is Jesus Christ. He heard your prayers when you were in high school. And now with the same lips that you asked God for, 1 year later, you're like, I don't know what to do with this. It seems to me that you got more than what you asked for. And now you're like, I'm stuffed too much, please. Let me eat, let me enjoy. No, because he chose you. I bet there was a lot of times that David was, before like the whole Bathsheba thing, but like I bet there was things that David was pondering, scared. Yeah. Am I a good king? But he messed up. And I want to remind you something. How much did we all learn from his mistakes?
Right.
Right? Heart of David, bro. I created a whole clothing line. This is not my clothing line. I created a whole clothing line over it, right? Heart of David, the man after God's heart. The man after God's heart took his best friend, put him in the front of the battlefield, and slept with his wife. That's the guy after God's heart? Why was he righteous in God's eyes? The same reason that Abraham was righteous in God's eyes. It wasn't because they were perfect. It wasn't because they didn't make mistakes. Remember Abram?
Of course.
Yeah. So what was it? Is that they both knew they were nothing without God. And I think you're at this stage in your life right now. I think a lot of praise comes your way and it builds us up. Bro, I was a pompous prick when I first got famous, dude. I would literally in my brain talk to people like, why are you trying to teach me? Like, I thought I was God's gift to earth. I have this joke where I thought that when I die, Jesus is going to be in heaven being like, where is he? Move, Peter, move. Where is he? Mark, get out of here. Thomas, you're lucky you're even here. You doubt too much. And he pushes him out of the way and he sees me. He's, oh, my perfect child, bro. He's the best. David, come and get a look at George. That's how we think, bro. Because we have a few viral clips online and people are like, I love you. You're the reason why It's not.
Right.
It's not. It's all about him. Once we stop, okay, I'm going to go back to the man on water, right? It's not that we drowned underwater every time we look at a problem. It's that we look at the good things in our life too. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Somebody might be looking at the cross at the same time looking at his bank account. I think a lot of people ask God, let me be rich. But God's like, if I make you rich, you'll never speak to me another day in your life.
Right.
Right now, you ask God, use me. And now you're having a hard time being used. I just say, hey, Lord, you've brought me this far. Don't be the Jew in the desert that goes, hey, bring me back to chains, man. I don't want to be here no more, dude. Be the Jew in the desert that's like, hey, the manna keeps falling from the sky, bro. A dude taking picture of me is now managing me. That's insane. If it's not Jesus' hands in everything, bro, this is the time to really buckle in. And by the way, what an exciting time to be alive. For people to be picking up rocks and wanting to throw and stone you and assassinate your character and try to get into your heart, dude. When you're in an army, right? Are you going after the guy who can't do anything? Or are you going to go after the guy that could potentially ruin everything that you're trying to do? If you weren't feeling this heat before, it's because you weren't moving for the kingdom the way you were before.
Yeah.
Am I hammering too hard?
No.
You should. By the way, do you know how hard I went on Bryce Crawford the first time I met
Oh,
him?
I'm sure you went.
Oh, dude, I reamed him, bro. I reamed him.
I'm
But-
sure you went super hard, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, I did it because, like, dude, like, eventually, screw the cameras, bro. Screw the mic. Eventually, we're all going to be naked in the eyes of God. We're all going to be standing there. And I don't want to be like, oh, I held my tongue because I didn't know.
Right.
Yeah. And the same thing I told Bryce. I told him, be careful because where God's going to take you, it's going to be very easy for you to worship yourself.
Yeah.
It's going to be very easy. I think that God's letting this marinate in your heart and hurt you because he's trying to show you, why does this hurt you? If somebody insulted a dude that you didn't know on the side of the street, it wouldn't faze you, right? Because you have no stock in that. You don't care.
Right.
So why are you holding your stock at the same level of preaching the gospel to God? Roadblocks.
Hard, man.
You
It's
know what I mean?
hard. It's
By the way, you
super-
could always call me, dude. Like, I literally talked Cliff's ear off. I called him all the time. I think the worst decision Cliff and Stuart has ever done in their career or ever done in their life is hand me their phone number. I truly think that. Like, I joke about it, but like, bro, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd call him. And he would answer. He has to. He promised God.
He promised.
You know what I'm saying? I called him every day, and I had no shame in it because I truly think I'm a soldier on this battlefield. And right now, I got hit. I was worried. I was scared. But I knew that the mission wasn't over, and I needed brothers and sisters to batch me back up, fill me with the Spirit, fill me with good words, push me back on their way. The best conversations that I ever had were loving, but it was also pointing me to my bad habits of worshiping myself. And that's the only reason I'm giving to you at your feet what they gave to me at mine. So you should be very excited. Dude, you're only 19 years old, bro. Can I tell you something? The things that keep you up at night, dog, in 3 years, you're going to be like, what was it that I was upset about? This kid that you're talking about, you're going to be bragging about it over dinner. Be like, yeah, when I first started, these kids would come up with GoPros. I don't know why you're Italian in my story, but you're Italian in my story, dude. Okay, let's get into more questions now that we kind of like got out of this.
Yeah.
But I love that you brought this up, by the way. But besides that, traveling and preaching the gospel, in high school, I'm assuming you asked God for this, or how did this all come to be?
No, I didn't ask for it. That's the funny thing. It's like, if I was asking for anything, it was a purpose, but I wasn't necessarily asking to be a world-renowned star or anything. I don't ask for that today. I remember like wondering what I was gonna do, me and my best friends were like, okay, maybe we're going to cybersecurity. Which, by the way, not everyone in a wheelchair is like a genius. If I was able-bodied, I would probably be working a blue-collar job. I'm not a genius, just saying that. And if you think that, you're probably ableist. But anyways, I was just trying to figure out, like, what was I actually going to do?
Yeah.
I didn't want to work IT. I didn't want to, like, be a lawyer. I didn't want to do this or that. Like, that's lame. So...
All the attorneys are like, oh.
Well, no, it's necessary for our society.
Yeah, wasn't your passion?
Right. It's not necessary for my life. So I just didn't know what on earth I was going to do. And I knew that I had the ability to give something. And I didn't know what. I remember just being like a little kid, like being at Universal Studios. And there was this really old guy in his scooter, and he was by himself. And he wheels on over to my mom, and he's like, "Is that your son over there?" And I was probably just drooling and babbling, I don't know. And she was like, "Yeah, that's my son." And he goes, "Well, I'm a lawyer, and my family has just spent all my money today. They don't include me in anything. They're just using me to come out here. So here's $500. Give that to him, and just have fun with it."
Wow.
I would rather my money go to someone like him that's done more for me than my own family. And that's just one of the things that's happened. I was cuter back then, so it was probably a lot easier for people to do stuff like that. But, like, people would come up to me just bawling their eyes out, saying, "You helped me so much." And I'm like 9 years old in a grocery store, like, dude, I don't know you. Like, I'm just rolling around the aisles here. I remember one time there was this tomato on the ground in the produce aisle, and, like, I really wanted to run it over so bad. I think anyone would, especially with a wheelchair. Like, it felt like the apple in the garden. So I remember I ran over half of it, like I didn't want to run over the whole thing. And there was like little trail marks and stuff.
And they're like, who did it? And they just follow your tracks.
I looked over, and there's this, one of the workers there is like an 18-year-old, like stereotypical grocery store worker. And I see this old lady in another wheelchair, mind you, ratting me out to the grocery store worker. And I remember thinking, like, she's got some nerve, just ratting me out. Like, how do we know you didn't do it? You're also in a wheelchair. But anyways, like, being able to just do what I was doing, whether it was running over tomatoes or just playing with my sibling in the store, and people would come up crying and saying I did something for them, and I didn't know what I did, like, that didn't stick with me until later. And so I knew I had a mind for creating things. I was like, okay, I'll just create a video. And so I did that, and everything went really well. And I was being super vulnerable about all my problems. Like, I was in 11th and 12th grade talking about, hey, I struggle with porn. And every classmate saw it, but it was like, whatever, you know? Because I would have one person come up to me that was like, that helped me so much. And it's like, oh man, it's so worth it now. You know? That's what makes it worth it to me. I don't care that my mom has to pick me up in a plane and she's 5'1", and we're struggling to go through the aisles, but Supermom is able to put me in my seat, and even though maybe I'll hurt my ankle or hit my elbow, bump my head, whatever.
He's giving you notes as he's like, yeah, and then she like bangs my head against the door, like, no problem, you know, she's not perfect and all that.
No, she does great. She really does great. I only hurt my ankle like once. But, like, going through all that, that's worth it to me.
Amen, man.
And
did it ever bother you? Did you ever get pissed when people came up to you or like, dude, you like, help you a lot.
No, what bothers me, I think, and I realized this yesterday. I went surfing yesterday.
Oh, bro.
I went surfing with Santa Cruz.
Like surfing.
Yeah, I caught 3 waves.
No way.
So we went surfing. Brendan brought out like 9. He brought out like the X-Men, like ex-Navy divers, lifeguards, huge jack dudes. And we put me on the surfboard. And
That's
caught
lit.
3 waves. It was incredible.
Whose idea was
scared?
this?
It was his idea.
This is
He was
great.
like, "Can we get you on the surfboard?" I was like, "We can try." So we did. And it was amazing.
I can't wait to watch this video. There's a video of this, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I would have been pissed if there was no video of this.
No. We got tons of video.
So what upset you?
Because everyone was watching the whole process of me getting on the surfboard and stuff. And you feel just a little bit emasculated, a little bit. You feel like, I got SpongeBob legs, so I was wearing shorts. So I also felt a little insecure there. And I don't know, it's just, like that's what bothers me sometimes, is the staring of people helping me, living in a world of people helping themselves. You know, and I don't know. I think that's what it never bothers me when someone comes up and they
It's a vulnerable state.
Yeah, it's a very vulnerable state for me.
And how do you feel that now that you've gone through that experience where they're watching you kind of get on this board? Do you like relive it? Do you feel like you would do it again? Is it something that it's uncomfortable?
I
Like,
would do it again, absolutely. But in my head, I'm like, okay, maybe next time I'll wear a wetsuit, right? Just to cover my long, lanky white legs, right?
Yeah.
Even though the water might not even be cold, it's like, that's where my mind goes, you know? And it's like, it's definitely something I'm ashamed of, which I know is a very normal human problem.
Yeah.
But I don't want to live in fear of what other people think. I've done a lot of work over the years of not, and I'm definitely at a better place than where I typically was at.
Yeah.
Dude, I used to not even move my chair. I wouldn't even do this in class because I was scared people were going to turn their heads and look at me, because they would do that. And so eventually I got to a point where I would like turn my chair on or off, or I would lean back in my seat and it would make a lot of noise. But it was like, you get to cross your legs. You get to stand up and go to the bathroom if you want. Why can't I do this or that? Like, I have the right. So I've definitely done a lot of work over the years by the grace of God, and He's given me that confidence. But I'm certainly not at that finish line yet. And I think I will only get that finish line until the day that I die. I think it will always be a day-by-day process where I am working out, you're okay, and it doesn't matter if people think this or that.
You have this thing where you are working on something, but you're telling yourself the end result. You're doing exactly what the scripture says not to do. And I just want to point that out. And I know it seems like I'm like pushing back on you. It's only because I already know what you're going to become. You don't believe it yet. I believe it. I already know where you're going to be. That's why I brought you on stage. I was so like honored that your first time on stage was with me, because I know that I'm going to be showing my kids your work. Like, I believe in what God's doing through you. Now, there's a man that walks up to Jesus and asks him for something, and he says, but I don't believe. Could you help me with my unbelief? And he was done like that. He didn't say, yeah, this is a day-by-day thing. You'll get there. It's only a day-by-day thing is because you've told God it's a day-by-day thing. God created this earth in 7 days. Actually, 6. The 7th, he just chilled and relaxed. 6 days, he created the mountains, the oceans, all that thing. I think the thing that you're dealing with in your mind is a mountain, but he also says that you could tell this mountain, get up and move. I truly believe it's just the posture of your mouth, because God is a gentleman. He's not going to do something without your consent. And right now, it seems to me, and these are just from my ears, I'm not God, but from my perspective of listening to you, it seems that you're holding on to this journey. You want this day by day. You want to learn this by every single day. But dude, I've hung out with you. I've watched you speak in front of thousands of people. There's a confidence that shines through you. There's abilities that come through you that are greater than all of us. And you know that, and you know it's true. I say, go to God and say, God, fix my mouth. I'm tired of believing in you, but saying the opposite. My friends and my wife, all the time, they get mad at me for saying this. Because I'll tell them, oh, your prayers are not going to be answered because of your mouth. It says, ask and you shall
receive.
No, hold on. It's a day by day thing. It says, ask and you shall wait day by day. Work for this. You know, do you know who Ben Carson is?
Sounds familiar.
He's this doctor. He's one of the greatest surgeons in the world. And the Siamese twins. He was the first person to ever separate them, right? Which we never even asked them about, which is
Yeah, we
wild.
didn't talk. Yeah, that's great.
I wanted to ask him, my only question is, which one did you like more? Just kidding.
That's terrible.
I'm a comedian. So the first thing he ever did with a knife wasn't to do surgery. He was angry at a guy. He wanted to stab him to death. And he went. And this dude had a Texan buckle, and it shattered. The knife shattered. And then he ran home, and he got at the foot of his bed, and he knew. He said, I have an anger issue. He goes, I have a really bad anger issue. I have a heart issue. And so he got on his knees. He goes, Lord, forgive me and heal me. Let this be the last day I ever get angry like that. This dude is the most calmest human being I've ever met in my life.
Wow.
It's because he believed that something greater than him had the position to change him. But if you think that it's your job to work through what your heart is going through, then bro, you're gonna work a long time. Yeah. And you're not gonna get anywhere. That's why they wandered in the desert. Is because they believed enough to leave, but they didn't believe enough to keep going. You're right there in the middle, man. You left high school, you're traveling with your family, but now you're in the middle of it, and you're like, yes, but this is gonna take years. Yeah, buddy, 40 years. I can tell by the way you're talking, it's gonna take 40 years, bro.
And you know what's funny about that? The Israelites, they were wandering in the desert for 40 years. Jesus was only in the desert for 40 days. And so he was showing, I am the obedience that you didn't receive in the Old Testament scriptures, that you didn't see from the Old Testament scriptures.
Yeah.
I am that obedience.
Amen.
And it's like God says, okay, we can either go the short route or we can go the long haul. And it's really up to you.
It's up to, but dude, you got to understand who you are. Once you realize like, oh, all I could do is just ask and I shall receive. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open. None of these things, not one of these things have to do with your work ethic. If it had to do with your work ethic, bro, all of these conversations that we'd be having would be very different. It'd be like, pull your boots by your bootstraps or whatever they say, or like all this work stuff. But bro, like, I pray that I say this, Lord, help me find a way. Thank you. I figured it out. You can't teach people something that you're not doing yourself. You can't. God will keep you here until you're obedient to him with your heart and your mind. And as soon as you accept that you're not the one who's creating these thoughts in your mind. You're not the one who's even creating your tongue to bend, to even reject your blessing from God. You chose that.
Right.
I truly think that you should ask the Lord, please help me. Change my mouth. Let it please you when I'm talking to you or when I'm talking with your friends. Do you know why they say you are who you hang out with? Is because you guys are speaking together. So if I hang out with somebody who's always depressed, I'm eventually going to be depressed. And that's why I keep my friends that are close to me, I hold them really high with their tongue, bro. Because if they're practicing bad habits, it's going to fall on me. It's going to fall on my wife. It might fall into my family, and I don't want that. So I don't want you doing this anymore. Not because, and by the way, this is, we could cut this out of the podcast. I'm telling you this because I don't want to be 5 years until God needed you to be there last week. I want you to be where God wanted you to be right then and there. And the only way we could do that is fully submit. And dude, you are doing crazy things for the kingdom in such a short amount of time, bruh. Spiritually, you're a giant, bro. And you're moving around and you're doing things that all of us in this room couldn't do if we put all our heads together. And you're doing that naturally. The devil's going to put all of the burden in your hands. I'm watching you being like, okay, the Lord put the world in my hands and now it's weighing on me. Well, then give it back to him. Why are you holding it? Just be like, hey, thanks for this. Here you go. And then give it right back to him. Thank you for letting me look at it. Here you go. Give it back to the king and let it rest in his hands. That's why when I lead my house, people are like, oh, you run your house? I'm like, yeah, I run it to God. I don't run my house. My wife is an amazing wife, not because she woke up and tried to work to be an amazing wife. It's because she feared the Lord and the Lord gave her wisdom. I pray that she sees the same way with me, but it was never my works. If it was my works, I'd be the worst husband on this planet, bro. Because if it had to do with my works, I would put all the money on it that it's gonna end up being bad. I think this is really cool, bro, what you're going through. And eventually, bro, this is the best part. And I wish somebody would have told me this when I was younger, right? Enjoy all of this. I know this sounds really crazy, bro, but enjoy all of the pain you're going through. All of the kids commenting towards you, all those people saying all those bad things to you, enjoy the process. Find it a way to like praise God over it, bro. Like, think about this. We believe that God is real. Dude, millions of people watched you talk about the king. Let's sit there for a second, bro. When we're all in front of God, fully perfected, fully in our able bodies, all of us, we're in front of the king. We're all going to be held accountable to what we did in the kingdom. How many people did you bring? How many people did you bring? How many people did you bring? Jamey, I'm excited to call you my friend. Because when I'm in heaven, I'm going to be like, dude, I'm friends with Jamey, dude. Look what he did with the kingdom, bro. When we turn around and we see thousands, if not, praise God, millions of people that turned away from their wicked world and followed the one true God because you suffered now. And for eternity, God goes, hey, Jamey, let me show you what I prepared for you in my kingdom, bro. Celebrate the problems. Celebrate them. I promise you. Because one day I'm gonna be in heaven. I'm like, I told you. We're gonna be moving you around, bro. And then we're gonna look down at that girl who ratted at you in hell, and we're gonna be like, hey, how was he doing down there? I'm so sorry. I always have to make a comment, dude. It's a problem. I'm also autistic as well.
Can I ask you this, since we're talking about belief? I would love to know, how did you encounter Christ? I mean, clearly you started believing in him when you were young, right? Because you said you were in the store at 9 years old. So how did you gain your faith and start really believing in him?
Yeah, I grew up going to church, like my family went. I grew up in the Southern Baptist Church.
Amen.
Right. Hey, man. That's how they say it.
Hey, man.
So, I mean, that's a whole other world. Have you ever been to a Southern Baptist Church?
I watched Stephen
I don't even
Furtick.
know why I asked that. I'm sure you haven't.
Haven't? I have. Stephen Furtick is right?
Stephen Furtick is not Southern Baptist.
Yeah, he is, boy.
I'm talking like 10 people in the church.
No, I mean, I haven't. I don't know.
No, I haven't been there.
I've been to churches with like 10 people there. And they're all old.
Bro, I love your slight jabs at people. Just like, you know, they're all old.
Sorry, it's really unintentional.
No.
But that's just how it is. Like the preacher will say something, and everybody just kind of sits there, and then one person in the back go, what did he say? And then he has to repeat himself. It's really funny. I remember this one lady. So in the Southern Baptist Church, I don't know if this doesn't really happen in bigger churches. It can happen in smaller churches because we have the time and enough people for it. But so we'll do like the same one, and you go on the prayer request. So people like raise their hands and all that. And every Sunday there was this lady that never had anything good to praise about or anything. So she would come out and go, well, Ronald died this weekend. And Mike, his surgery didn't go too well, so we need to keep him in prayer. And Fifi, our dog, died, so...
Oh, my God.
And that was every Sunday.
Oh, my God.
And I would look at my dad. My dad would be, like, trying not to laugh. Because it's like she never has anything good to say. And it just keeps piling on and on and on. But that's how Southern Baptist churches work. It was very like, if you had something to, like, if you had a prayer request, you had this or that, like, you could come up and it wouldn't be a problem, or it wouldn't be a disruption.
Yeah.
You could even sing in front of the church.
Wow.
Like, you were allowed to sing worship songs. Yeah, everyone there was the worship band. There was no, like, dedicated worship team. You were a part of the worship team the moment you came through those doors.
Do you still go there?
No, because the pastor, he left.
There was a schism in 10 people.
It's possible.
5 people went this direction, 5 people went this direction. Why did the pastor leave?
I'm not totally sure. I remember he would complain that it wasn't Holy Spirit led. I think he was looking for more energy in the church. He was looking for more hallelujahs, more amens, more prayers. And it wasn't a place that was really, it was growing logistically, but it was not growing spiritually. But I also stopped going just because I needed something that was more theologically adapt to me. I needed sermons that felt like more time was put into them and more effort.
They were feeding you.
Yeah.
Hey, where do you go now?
I'm still trying to find the right place. It's really hard. But so, like, I grew up going to those kinds of churches, and I remember sitting in the pews and stuff and singing worship music and thinking, like, why are we praising this guy? Like, what's there to praise him for? Why do I have a reason to praise this guy? Look at me. Like, what reason could I possibly have? And I remember people would come up to me and they would say, you have such a gift. And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. How can this be a gift? How can human suffering be a gift? And I struggled with that for a lot of years. That's a hard thing to kind of wrap your mind around, especially as like a kid, you know? But I knew God was real. I knew something was out here. I knew that this isn't just a sham. Like, I knew there was something to all of this, but I didn't know if he was good or bad. And I didn't know what was going on. I remember feeling in that high school area just lost and purposeless. And then my mind goes back to the people in the grocery store, right? People that would come up to me in public as a little kid. And they would say, I helped them. I didn't even do anything. And I thought, well, what if I did something? If I didn't help them and not do anything, how much more could I help them and do something?
Well, yeah.
So I dug into the Bible to try and figure out, okay, the problem of human suffering. Which, by the way, is a big task for like a 15, 14-year-old.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to open the Bible to try to figure out human suffering. So I was like in class reading my theology books. Like, I was reading Dr. Michael Heiser. I was always listening to Dr. Tim Mackey, like trying to figure out, okay, why are we suffering? And my conclusions are, number one, God did not do this to me. The devil did. And I thank him for it. Number two, I realized that suffering is bigger than us. Suffering is necessary for society. Think about it this way. When 9/11 happened, the world has never been closer to each other. We came together because of suffering. Suffering is necessary for human connection, our hearts, and though it sounds really bad, my suffering is necessary for thousands of souls around the world. And the third thing I realized is that God suffers with humanity. so many humans have tried to become a god, but there's only one God that became a human.
Wow, that's a bar.
And thank you. But our God is a suffering God. He's one of one. There's no other little g God that will step down with you when you're in pain. There's no other God that will cry with you in your car. There's no other God that will share a pillow with you in tears. There's no other God that will do that for you. Because Jesus wept when Lazarus died. Why would he weep if he knew he was going to resurrect him? Because he shares in that hurt.
Amen.
He sympathizes.
Amen.
And I realized that God he wasn't throwing me a pity party. He genuinely hurt with me whenever I hurt. He hurts with you when you hurt. He hurts with you when you hurt. He hurts with us. And so having all of that in my little noodle of a brain and putting all that together, I feel like I finally had the tools to start having faith and start really believing. And after that, I really just went all in. And I'm thankful for this body that I have. I thank God for it very often. Two mornings ago, I just woke up, I prayed, I said, thank you for this body.
Amen.
Because this body, it says responsible for bringing so much joy and happiness. And though it might not feel normal to you or you, and I might look a little different, and I might look like E.T. when I'm in the shower or something, that's fine. You can think that. But I would rather bring joy to so many hearts than have a body that is fully able to run around, walk around, and not have the impact that I've ever had. So, does that answer your question?
More than I think it's I just think that it's so beautiful, and I think that I love hearing people's testimonies and hearing how they encounter Christ, and I think that it's such a gift that when you wanted to understand God, you wanted to understand your circumstance and understand why this happens, not just to you but to everybody, and that helped you open your eyes, and so that's a really big gift.
Thank you.
I want to circle back to Lazarus because you said, why did he weep? They both, those two sisters, both loved Jesus. Both of them. I mean, one of them was like cooking for him all the time. And by the way, when they came up to him, they said, your friend.
Right.
Right? What did he make them do before they received their blessing? Move the rock. Move the rock.
All right.
And what you were describing to me was your new rock. Every time one rock moves, there's one more right in front of us.
Of course.
All we have to do is move the rock. That's the work that we have to put in. And it's having faith in Jesus that on the other side where we think it's dead and there's nothing to do there, life will produce. So you went from high school preaching, talking about pornography, talking about your circumstance, being in a Baptist church. Now you're in front of the whole world. And now there's a new rock. Is this for me? Am I doing this right? Why are they saying this about me? Okay, hunker down, take all that noise, put it at the feet of Jesus, and say, what do you want from me? What do you want me to do? Okay, if he was here, he'd say, move the rock. While he's weeping with you. He'd be like, dude, move the rock, man. Move it. Why are we crying over here, man? Move the rock, dude. And by the way, how funny is that? Okay, the most frustrating thing for me is when you love somebody and they don't do what's good for them.
Right.
How annoying is that, bro?
Very annoying.
It's so annoying. So stop doing that to God. Every time I think that, I go, all right, God, I got to stop doing that to you, man. I got to stop doing that to you, bro. You know what's funny about Christians? And I find this fascinating, right? Me, you, Bryce, Well, I don't know about Bryce. He's supernatural. He's a freak. I don't know what's going on with him. That guy, I'm convinced if I was walking in heaven and Cliff and Bryce came up to me, they're like, we were actually angels the whole time. We weren't actually humans. I'd have been like, dude, I gotta figure, dude, there was something going on with you guys. But, okay. Oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Hold on. Don't move. Oh yeah, Christians do this, and I'm calling myself out for doing this. We are so easy to give God all of the glory. So quick, right? Oh, no, brother, it ain't me, it's all the Lord, right? But when it comes to the problem, we always hold it. It's my problem.
Right.
I did this. No, it's wrong. I shouldn't have done this. Like, it was me. Yeah, no shit, it was you. Everything that you do wrong is you. It's not going to be Jesus. All the good things is going to be Jesus. All the bad things is going to be us. That's pretty much the relationship going on here.
Yeah.
The quicker we realize that and just say, hey, you've already paid for my sins. Who do you think is going to want you to sit there and feel bad about them? God, who's already paid for it,
Right.
or the devil, who's distracting you from the gifts?
Right.
You have a gift. You said it from the beginning until now. And dude, like, it's kind of motivating to hear him because it makes me feel less crazy. Because I deal with this as well, bro. By the way, this is a classic case of giving you advice that's very hard for me to accept too. Okay. So I'm saying this like my chest is out and I've had it nailed down.
Yeah.
But if you ask Reed right over there, the amount of times he's wiped tears off of my face, too much for another man to be doing. Like, way too much.
Okay.
So don't do that. Don't judge. Don't judge. I want to get into some fun things.
All right.
We're getting really deep. I want to get into some fun things.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
No, don't be sorry. Bro, first of all, that was my fault. I was the one that brought up the deep stuff.
It's no one's fault. Good stuff.
Yeah, stop apologizing. You're making me look bad for my wife.
Okay.
So nice of you, dude. Okay, we've talked about the negatives, right? What are the positives, bro? And by the way, this is something I've been practicing, and I told her this. We like for example, if my wife does something silly, right? If I focus on the negative, then eventually I'm only going to see her in a negative light because I'm just watering this one plant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I do now is if she does something negative or I do something negative, we also end it with at least 3 positives. So I want to hear some cool things that you've been going through that you're really excited about when it comes to starting your ministry.
Okay. I think, man, that's hard. I don't know why.
You sound like that girl from the Baptist church. Just get up there, but she's like, I only got things to complain about. I got nothing good.
No.
I'm a good complainer. I didn't realize that. Okay, so one of the things that I'm really excited about is I think that's really cool to be able to show other disabled people what is possible.
Amen.
So
let's go.
that's a really big thing for me. Because that example, like I think Nick Pichucci, I don't know how to say his last name. The guy with
Nick?
no arms or legs, the preacher.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how to say
Australian
his last name.
guy?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say his last
I
name.
don't know him.
But like other than that, the example's not really there for
Yeah.
a lot of us.
Have you ever talked to him?
I'm not. I need to talk to him.
Have you ever reached out?
No,
You got to reach out to that guy.
I need to reach
He's
out
on
to him.
fire for the Lord, huh?
He's incredible.
Have you seen him dance?
He dances?
He dances on stage, bro.
Oh, wow.
It was cool.
No, I have, now that you say that.
Yeah,
I saw
right?
the video.
His his ministry is so pure and so real.
It is. I remember him talking about him and his wife, and he was like, I didn't have to hold her hand, I just had to hold her heart. The same thing with him and his kids, right?
Yeah.
So that really stuck with me. I think he's a great dude. Would love to meet him someday. So I'm excited to be able to be that example, to show you, like, you can do this. Like, if you trust in the Lord and you put your mind to it, you can do whatever you want. Like, there's no limitations other than what God has set. And so, to be able to be that for other people is really, really cool.
You know, you pulling up to the house with your mom and your friends, dude. How old are you, 19? I was 21 when I moved to LA to chase the acting and amusing and stuff like that. And dude, that was like 12 years ago. And it just like, it moved by like that, right?
Yeah.
I think another cool thing is that all of this is just the beginning for you, bro. Like this is like if you had a book, that's why I said, oh, you go on a book tour, and you said, I'm too young to have a book. The first chapter is like where you're at right now. And that to me is so exciting, dude. Like, I don't know about you, but I like beginnings, never endings. I don't like to say goodbye. I don't like to things wrap up. Like, it's just not in my nature. I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you're in the beginning, dude.
I know.
That's exciting, man.
It is exciting. And, you know, like first starting out, my dad always pushed it. Like, my dad was always really like, just make videos. Like, people want to see this stuff.
By the way, dude, how cool is that?
Oh, yeah, really
Dude,
cool.
to have your dad and your mom, like, back you up. Dude, my buddy lost his dad. And he always makes jokes. Every time I hug my dad, he goes, must be nice. Like, and it's really dark. It's such a dark joke, right? But his dad, like, loved him. And the other day he pulled me aside and he said, I think the greatest gift in the world that God ever gave all of us is parents that love us and support us. And every time I see your mom, bro, she has the greatest smile on. I haven't met your dad yet, but the fact that he's like, yo, make these videos, bro. Like, you have two parents that are your pillars and say, we got your back, bro.
Yeah.
You want to be out of this Baptist church? We're out. You want to be making videos? We're in. You want to surf? Okay, dude, but we need some people around. You know what I mean? I think I would love to meet your dad, by the way.
I can't say the same for him. Because he's a big homebody.
Is
And he
he?
doesn't like talking to people.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, okay, so where'd you get your personality from?
I don't
Rachel?
know. I don't know. Well, okay, so here's the thing. Me and my dad, we don't really have a typical father and son relationship. It's like 50% parent, 50% friend. Because he went to school with me, right? Because I couldn't write notes or use the bathroom myself. And they didn't have anyone to hire as a caregiver, so they said, well, just hire your dad.
No way, wow.
So my dad makes a lot of jokes like, I'm just a stay-at-home dad. That's my whole life now. But that's what he did. He went to school with me, and he took care of me. And my dad's not a bad-looking guy either. So when I got, like, people, I didn't have Snapchat, but when we were like, hey, this girl's snapping saying she wants to give your dad a second child, I'm like,
my God.
this is terrible. Like, Dad, you need to go home.
The homies in the back of the class like this, chewing gum. Nothing's changed. Rachel's like, yeah, that's right. So question, what grade did he start coming?
He started at like 5th grade, all the way up until graduation.
Okay, can I ask you a question? And I want you to ask your dad this. Did he learn stuff too while he was going through this?
Yes.
Because, bro,
Yes.
dude, I'm telling you, I'm so excited to have kids because I want to be a part of their academics
He
because
did.
I failed the first time around.
He did all my chemistry work for me.
Really?
Because I didn't know how to do it, but he knew how.
Was he ever like bitching about it? Like, oh man, why does she keep giving us this homework? You know?
Yes.
Like it's him and the dad going up to mom. He's like, the teacher's out to get us. Like, we're trying.
We would come home to Mom, and Dad's like, you should have seen that exam. That wasn't on the study guide.
How nice is that though that he had your back? You know what I mean?
Have you ever seen your dad try to cheat for you guys?
We had a system. So I would go like, by the way, I don't condone this. This is sinning.
What?
This is a sin. Like, cheating is a sin. I just
Yeah.
want to clarify that. But,
Is it? I think cheating someone is a sin. I think cheating ourselves is a process. That's a day by day thing.
No, I think it's all the same.
Okay, it's a sin.
I
It's a
don't
sin. It's a
know.
sin. It's a sin.
this is where the Assyrian part comes in.
Yeah, dude.
But,
The last interviewer really pissed them off.
Yeah. He's like, listen.
but, we had our system where I would go, be looking at the text, I would go, A. And he went and circle A. So I knew, okay, that's not the right answer. That's how we did it. So he'd be like, what'd you say? Like, asking, like, did I hear you right? I'd be like, no, you didn't. So I have to go back and reevaluate my answer. That was our system. So we made it work.
I like that.
And it was also really funny because there were days I'd be in bed and he would wake up and he'd go, "Do you want to go to school today?" I said no. We never went.
And you're just sleeping.
Yeah.
I love that, dude.
Yeah.
Like he
This
never...
seems awesome. To have a relationship with your dad like this is lit.
The only time that it absolutely sucked was when you couldn't mess around with your friends in class because he'd be like, "You need to do your work." So I couldn't just like, mess around.
You can't look at him and be like, "You're not my dad right now."
Right.
Yeah.
So chill out, buddy.
Right.
Yeah.
That's awful. But
Yeah.
rest of the time, it was great. And it's really funny. So my dad was like able to joke around and stuff because he was around so many kids and teenagers. Not once did he act like a 46-year-old man. It was like he would joke around and he would be like, "Dude, you got to riz up the baddies." And I'd be like, "Dad, we're in high school. You can't say that.
That's illegal, dad.
You're a grown man."
Hey, he's like, "I'm snapping that girl you like." Well, what's my dad? I'm not even like, what are you talking about? That's not me, that's you. Dude, that's so cool. Yeah, my parents like fully gave up on me with school. They were just kind of like, "Yeah, he's going to be an entertainer or something."
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Do you know how like unfair it was to fail English and then come home and then get yelled at in broken English? Like where is my standard? You know what I mean? Like I show him an F on my report card for English, and he looked back at me and goes, "Hey, what the shit is this?" I'm like, "You're not even swearing properly, dude. Like you're not even using the words right. Like how am I supposed to learn here, dude?" I grew up in a liquor store, bro.
Did you really?
Yeah, Jessica, didn't we grow up in a liquor store? Yep. See?
Wow.
It's the other brown girl, my sister.
Wow.
You met Jessica on tour, right?
I did.
Yeah. What do you
I
think of
did.
her?
I think she's great. She was super nice when I met her, super bubbly. She's still super nice.
She is.
Yeah.
She's the best.
She hasn't changed.
He said it like he had a PR team. She's great. She's really nice, bubbly. The guy's the president now.
And so in school, since you had your dad with you constantly, how was that building friendships with people and relationships? Did you?
Oh, it made it a little harder because people weren't going to say things that they would typically say if your parents were around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So that definitely made it a little hard. So oftentimes I would have to go to like, my dad would call it like a weird kid table. And my dad wouldn't go to lunch with me because he was like, "They're weird. Like, I don't want to be around them."
You choose your friends?
Yeah. So like, he'd be like, we had a room dedicated for ourselves.
Yeah.
Like a room where I could use the bathroom, work on school, lay down if I wanted to, if my back was hurting.
Yeah.
So we had our own little room. I would come back from lunch. I would knock on the door, and he would open it. He just got done from a nap, just napping in our little closet. I was like, "Dude, you could have came to lunch." He's like, "I don't want to go to lunch with you weirdos." So he was like super funny.
Dude, I can just picture him. Just outside in the parking lot smoking a cigarette. These kids are nuts.
I'll show you a picture of him when we're done. But
Did you go to college?
I did.
Did he come with you to college?
No.
Dude, I kind of want to make a movie about your dad and you going to high school. I think that would be a really funny movie, bro.
It would be
like
really
picture
funny.
Superbad, but you and your dad. Like trying to get into parties. Like your dad's doing things that no father should be doing with his son, dude. But he'll do whatever it takes for you to have that fun time, bro. Like,
Yeah, he was cool, man. Like I say he was. He's still here. But like I don't know. I don't think many kids get that kind of relationship with their parents. So it's definitely really cool. And it's funny. Like, we sleep in the same bed because I can't turn. I'm a side sleeper. So I can't turn on my own at night. So I wake up maybe 4 times a night to turn. And he called yesterday, was like, "I'm not sleeping good. I only sleep good when you're here." Even though logistically he's waking up more in the middle of the night when I'm there. But it's like he'd done it since I was a baby. It only, that's the only way he's able to sleep good. Him and my mom haven't slept in the same bed since I was born because someone had to, take care of me and all that. So it's really cool. So we definitely don't have that typical parent relationship. But that's the other second cool thing that you asked me to give you. I think being able to kind of like be someone that your parents are proud of. You know, I hold the opinions of my parents in a very high regard. So asking them like, what'd you think about this? Or I really like that video. How did you like it? Or, you know, all these things, like to be able to be a son that your parents are proud of, that's really cool for me. So I love that.
No, you can't see her right now, but Mrs. Rachel is crying.
She typically is.
You're such a sweetheart.
Dude, did your dad ever beat up kids that try to like mess with you?
No, nobody did.
I have a feeling that he'll be like, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick. And he'll go just throw somebody in the trash and then
No.
That would be illegal.
Dude, that would be so, bro, if we do this movie, I just want to let you know there's going to be a part of your life, it's going to be a lot of fake stuff written, but there's going to be a part of your life where you were a bully at some point and your dad's just behind you like this, just...
I guess there was a time that
I knew it, I knew it,
in gym class, when it was time to play dodgeball, I couldn't play. Now, mind you, my dad has a heck of an arm. He used to play softball all the time. He's like 6'5".
Yeah.
Super long and leggy, able to chuck a ball. And
What age is this, by the way?
middle school, so like
Okay.
13. And we'd sit there in gym class. Obviously, I couldn't play dodgeball, but I would go, I don't like that kid. Hit him.
He's just like this.
So he'd be like, all right.
So he played for you.
So he grabs the
That's
ball.
so funny.
So he hits this like kid that's really short, really loud, kind of like you. And he threw the ball super hard. It hits him in the ear, and the kid like stumbles back. And all they did is like got around. I was like, "Are you okay, bro?" Coach is just laughing. Like coach does not care at all. So then we do it again. I was like, I go.
Same kid?
No, I had more targets.
You had a hit list,
I go.
bro.
I said, go after those two little Mexican kids. So
He's like, see.
there were two Mexican brothers
Yeah?
that were twins, and I think the reason I wanted him to hit him was because we were in class one time, and one of the brothers, he was handing out papers. One of them said Jamey, and he goes, "Who's Jamey?" And then all the kids in the class go, "Who's Jamey? It's the guy in the wheelchair right over there." And I was like, how did he not know my name? Hit him. So I told my dad to do
And then
it.
he just wheels up next to him while he's on the ground. He goes, Jamie sends his regards. It just rolls over. That's so funny. So funny.
It's really bad. But I told my dad to hit him, and he did. And it was like he got shot in the head with like an actual bullet. He fell on the ground after he got hit, and his head like snapped back and everything.
Oh my
And then I was like,
You're going to get a lawsuit in the mail to be like, my skin has scoliosis now because of you.
Yeah.
I was like, let's hit that guy over there. So he threw the ball. The guy ducked, and it hit a girl with glasses behind. And we had to, we saw that girl's dad at a pizza restaurant. We were in the car. My dad was like, wait, we're not going in yet. Let them leave. So we had to wait.
He's going to apologize. And then he's going to be like, wait, we got to apologize. You know, let's go in there.
It was like,
How long did you wait? How long did you wait?
we waited at least 10 minutes.
Okay, that's not.
It was a big biker guy, though. So my dad was like, we're just wait here in the
Oh
park.
my
Oh
gosh.
my goodness.
And then one kid was like, look, I think his name was Nathan or something. He was like, I can catch the ball. My dad was like, you can't catch the ball. I was like, I can
Dad is
catch
having
it.
the best time of his life.
So dad's like, all right. if you want to catch it, you can try. So dad throws the ball, and he tries to catch it, and he like breaks his fingernail. And he had to go to the nurse's office, and coach is like, Mr. Kenny got another one. That's my dad's name, Kenny. So he's like, Mr. Kenny got another one. And then the teachers started like looking at him weird for doing all this. So they didn't like him. So the reason we stopped is because my dad was like, I'm going to lose my job if I keep doing this.
Yeah, dude.
So we didn't get to play Billy Madison again. But like, I guess we were kind of bullies at one point.
That's hilarious.
Dude, it's writing itself.
It's hilarious.
This thing is writing itself. Bro, you know what? You could even audition. You could probably play Jamey.
I mean, I'd hope so.
I'll write it. I'll figure it out.
He's going to have you audition for it.
Yeah. Could you slate
How
me your name?
disabled are you? That's the question.
I'm not believing it. I feel like you really like.
We heard a hilarious story with your dad. What's one of your fondest memories with your beautiful mom?
So, oh man, there's a lot. There's one, I'm not going to tell that one.
It's a really good one. Oh, you're going to love this. I'm not telling you.
I just had to bait you. I just can't say it. I think one of them that's really funny. So when I was little, we were in a grocery store. I keep finding myself at the grocery store. I had to go pee. And typically how I pee is I lay down and I just pee in like a cup or something.
Okay.
Okay, but nowhere I can lay down at a grocery store. I really had to go. So mom is like, okay, let's go to the bathroom. So we go to the bathroom. Mom's able to like prop me up on her knee. I was little enough to where we could do that. And so we're trying to like aim at the toilet. I pee like all over her boot.
By the way, what story could you not tell us that this was the runner-up?
It's just not, it's not appropriate. But it was really funny. It's not that it's not appropriate, it's just, I don't know.
No, you're not.
It's more embarrassing for me. But I peed like all over her boot, so, you know, there was like, we got out of the stall and her boot's just like all wet. And it's like, I'm sorry, Mom. And she's like, it's okay. And again, I was a lot cuter back then, so I could get away with stuff like that. But, like, I think my dad is able to make light of things more than my mom. Like, we'll be in the mall and I'll see an escalator. So I'd be like, you think I could survive if I went down that? And she's like, don't even say that. You're not funny at all.
It's probably because you peed on her. I think she would have been a lot more enjoyable with these jokes if you didn't pee. Did you ever pee on your dad?
Probably. I'm assuming I did. I think I peed on a lot of people. I think, like...
No, dude. I just looked at you.
Like, I know I peed on my sister. I know I peed on my friend when he tried to help me go pee.
Okay, bro, you're like 3 R&B songs away from being R. Kelly at this point.
Wait, so tell us about your sister. What's your relationship with your sister like?
I have 2 of them.
Okay.
My younger sister, I'm not saying she's autistic, but she's somewhere in that line.
Your mom is shocked right now.
Where she's like...
Dude, I gotta quote these, dude. These are my favorite. She's not autistic, but she's somewhere.
What are older brothers
She
for?
is super sweet. Don't let that super sweet, very shy.
Yeah.
She's not good with her emotions. So she hates like doing caregiving stuff for me. Like I remember a few years ago, I had to wash my face. And my dad was in the shower, so he's like, Bo, her name's Bo, B-O-E. She's like, Bo, wash your brother's face. She starts crying. She's like, he's so gross, I don't want to. And so she like grabs the washcloth, she's like washing my face, going like, and like for no reason at all. And she's always been like that. Doesn't want to feed me. And it's not because like she hates me. It's just how she is.
How old is she?
She's 13. So
That's siblings. You know, siblings are like, you know,
Yeah, I think just as gross.
right, but other people have done it for me, so I think in her mind it's like just get someone else to do it.
Yeah.
You know.
Her name's Bo.
Yeah, Bo.
Bo. And then the other one,
Julia.
older.
Yes, she's 27.
Who are you more closer to?
Depends on the day.
Nice.
So, but I think
I like you so much. Dude.
my older sister was always the caregiver.
Yeah.
So when I was born, she was the first one to ask my mom, how do I take care of him like this? How do I do this or that? Like, she wanted to know just from day one.
Wow.
So she went to summer camp with me and was my caregiver. So she never, like, shied away from any of that. She was always the first one to see something and think, how can we get Jamey to do that? How can we put him on the zip line? How can we have him climb a rock wall? All of these things. She was the first one to do all that. And she's always been that way.
Older sisters are awesome, dude. Mm-hmm. Actually, Jessica's the reason I even came to LA.
Really?
Yeah. I was ready to go, finally convinced my mom and dad. And my mom and dad are, you know, they don't want the baby bird to leave the nest. So if I was ever like, I don't want to, if the word says I don't want to go, my bags were already unpacked and put back to where they were. They had no problem having me stay. And so I remember I was in the balcony, my mom and dad just walked out, and I turned to Jess and I said, hey, actually, I'm not leaving. I just told them that I'm going to stay. And my sister got up, looked me in my eyes, and she says, I'm the scared one, not you. If you don't do it, you'll disappoint me. And so I went and I packed my bags and I left. Okay.
Your sister's too sweet.
Yeah. I've peed on her too.
Nice.
Did she hear a laugh?
Is your sister still living at home or is she living away from home?
No, she has a husband. She has a baby.
Yeah.
She lives down the street like 15 minutes from us.
Oh, good.
So,
You guys are so close.
yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, she eats
How did you
all our
feel
food.
about you surfing?
She was texting me multiple times, please be safe.
But she was excited.
Yeah.
Because she's always trying to get you to do these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, but she was excited.
Hey, we never circled back to the experience of surfing. We talked about you being a little worried about getting ready in front of people, but what was it like being on the water and like actually surfing?
Well, I think for a while, nobody knew how we were going to make it happen because they had a custom board built for me, but I couldn't be strapped to it. Because if I'm strapped to the board and the board flips, God forbid, then that's a hazard. That's really bad.
Yeah.
But other side of that coin, I have no body control. So if the board tips, I fall over off the board. So it's like, what do you do? So we had guys just trying to figure this out. Eventually, we got to the point where we realized, oh, someone can sit behind me on the board and hold me from behind to keep me stable. So that's what we ended up doing. So we had 9 dudes lift the board, put me in the water. Someone got behind me, held me. We had to get out far enough in order to catch a wave, but that was the hardest part because when you're at the point just getting in the water, the waves are just crushing you. So
Yeah.
it was rough.
So how did you get out past the part?
I had like 2 dudes holding me, just holding
Were you
my
on the board
chest.
at the time?
Like they were on my sides. So nobody was on the board with me, but they were holding me as we were pushing me out there.
So you were in the water.
Yes, I was on the board in the water. And then we get out there, and I see everybody's super far away from me. It's the first time surfing, so I'm like, where is everyone? I know the guys behind me, and I'm asking them, like, where did everyone go? Why is everyone back over there? I'm scared out of my mind. And then the wave comes, and like I feel like it's just like flying. It's super smooth. It's like you're riding like pure energy.
Wow.
And it was super fast. We got back. Everyone's cheering. It's super cool. And I was like, okay, one more. So I do one more, and I go, we'll just do one more. So I keep going back for more. And it was probably one of the coolest experiences. Not probably, definitely. if not the coolest experience I've ever had.
Do you think you're gonna do it again?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
I want to learn how to surf, so I like to. If next time you do it, I'd like to come out.
Okay.
I just get so scared about underneath me, dude. Like I
I
don't
taught
like
the
nothing.
Santa Cruz. I don't know if you're following or not.
One more time.
Santa Cruz?
The place?
No, Medicinals, the guy. Like the health guy. No? He's friends with Forrest Frank. So he does this challenge called Locked In, where he'll bring in influencers, whether they're like overweight or known for being lazy, and he'll just put them through the most rigorous health challenges ever. And so we were talking about, he was like, we need to do a day like this, but with all the Christian influencers. Like, we need to get George out here, Forrest out here. Forrest loves to surf. Bryce out here. We need to get everybody. So, definitely
That'd be
would
awesome.
love to surf with you guys.
I've
But
never surfed yet, so if that will be my first time, that'll be sick.
Yeah, what a cool experience.
I'm sure it's not as scary for you as it was for me, and probably way less stakes, but it's incredible. It's nothing short of incredible. But it was cool, you know? Like, I think for people to watch that also was because there was like 60, 70 people on the beach
Dang.
that stopped everything they were doing to
Yeah.
just watch. So I think they probably got a lot out of it too. Just
Oh
by
yeah, heck
watching.
yeah, bro. What?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I would have definitely stopped and watched that.
Yeah.
Before you leave, I want to hear what your plans are. I know you have them in your heart, and you might be a little nervous to say them, but I want you to say them because I know they're going to happen, and I want to be able to share that experience with you in the future where I go, look what you said, and look where you're at. So what is it that God's calling you to do?
I really want to travel the world and meet people where they are. And I want to meet the people that others typically aren't able to. What I mean by that is if I'm the only person that's able to sit across and talk to a Mexican cartel member, no, I want to do that. Because I'm probably one of the only people that possibly could. And be able to do that for people.
What would you do if the cartel gang member looked at you and said, I'm pretty sure I've seen you and your dad with... Hey, did you hit my kid with the ball before?
Say, no, not me.
No comprende.
Nicolás.
Well, dude, I think you're already doing that, man. And I think that's actually exciting that that's what you want, but that's already kind of what you're doing, bro.
Yeah.
And I'm very proud of you. Miss Rachel, thank you for coming here and your team, even though they were mine first and you took them.
Thank you so much, Jamey.
I love you, dude. And,
I love you
dude,
guys.
please, anytime. It could be in the middle of the night. It could be daytime. It could be a holiday. It could be anywhere, anytime. If you ever want to talk to us about anything, even if it's small, the smaller paper cuts hurt the most because there's so many of them. But if it's small or big, call me up and we'll hash it out.
Okay.
I love you, dude.
I love you.
I'm going to come and give you a hug.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Imagine if I just stood up.
He just spits on me. I'm like, dude, how are you peeing on me?
Please
That
don't
far away.